Well, hello. Hi, Willie.
Hi, how are you this evening?
Hi, Sean. I'm doing good. Man, we've had some good weather, huh?
Oh, beautiful. It's a freaking swamp, though.
I know. Oh my God, when I left for work, ow, dang. When I left for work this morning, the driveway was full of ice. I came home today and it was like nothing, like absolutely nothing. So I know that by the title it says Meet Infantry Outdoors. He is actually putting his kids to bed. So he will be here soon. But until he gets here, we can announce we have three people. We have Chris, we have Kaylin Strain, Plano Chuck. Oh, we have four people. Chris and Connie and Sean that are all here.
Jack took the snowmobile out today. It's pretty slushy under the snow.
Oh, really?
I don't think there's a bit in the yards, any of the snow in the yard that doesn't have a snowmobile track on it now. And out and
and
around the field.
yep, and we got Prep for it that just showed up. So that's cool. Um, I don't know if infantry knows how to get on here. I think he does. He told me he did.
I
So
hope so.
yeah. Hi, Unpaved Explorer. We're just waiting for our guest. He had to go put his kids to bed, so he'll be on soon. You can't see any of it, Willie?
And I can if I click the chat, but then I don't see me.
Oh, you need to see you, right?
Yeah, that way I make sure
Okay,
I'm still
there's
on.
Chuck. There's Kaylin. Chris Connie. Sean. Mr. Prep for it. And then we have Unpaved Explorer. There he
Hello,
is.
everybody.
Hey,
There he
hey, hey.
is.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Folks,
How we doing tonight?
we are doing good. Folks, if you guys don't know our guest, this is DJ from Infantry Outdoors. How you
How's it
doing
going?
tonight? I heard you were busy putting your kids
Everything
away.
is A-OK.
So we always start off by talking a little bit about our channel. So, Willie, why don't you go ahead and talk about your channel for a second?
I just have a small gardening channel that we also do a few other things. I got a little bit of farm equipment. I like to work on old trucks, and I do like to go camping, but I never get them filmed, it seems like. And we start a lot of vegetables at our orchard,
Yes. And
etc.
everybody already knows I do a little bit of everything myself. I I oops, sorry. I camp, I hike, I fish, I do whatever. But today is not about me or Willie. Today is about Infantry Outdoors. Go ahead and tell people about your channel.
Well, my name is DJ Infantry, and I am the host of Infantry and creator of Infantry Outdoors. We are an outdoors channel targeting handicapped people or disabled people, primarily because a lot of folks like myself, we want to do things, but when you call and say, "Hey, can you take me scuba diving?" Yeah, I can take you scuba diving. But I'm disabled. Can you take me scuba diving? Oh no, we can't do that. We can't. And this applies to every area of outdoors. My channel is there to try to inspire you by showing you the programs, the places, and the people that say yes we can. That don't tell you no you can't. They have special outfits and rigs for all kinds of disabilities. But my goal is to get that wow factor out of you to where we don't like openly announce my disability other than like when we're being interviewed and stuff like that because we want you to watch the videos, and then when you find out that this is a blind guy doing what you just watched and your brain goes holy crap, that's what we're looking for. And I
That
have
is
guests of mine.
awesome.
Yeah, I've always said it. When I get to the point where I'm able to start traveling, which that was big part of this move to North Florida, um, I can't wait for the videos where the blind guy's on the mountain with the girl with one arm, mountain climbing. I have a friend with Paradox Sports that does just that. If you go back and look at our earlier videos from when we were down in South Florida, we have done indoor skydiving with handicapped people. Whether you're quadriplegic, paraplegic, if you want to do it, we have a way for you to try it. It may not be for you, it may be for you, but you can't at the end of the day say, well, you know, infantry, I can't do it because I'm handicapped, because that's hogwash. It doesn't work with us. So our channel is basically here to inspire people. I work with a lot of veterans that are disabled. And a lot of the veterans, when they get disabled, they get what's called shut-in syndrome, where they sit at home and they self-medicate and they don't do anything. So again, we have programs out there that take you fishing, take you hunting, you know, get you out of the house. And when you have that one-on-one camaraderie that you have in the outdoors, it really makes it easy. Like if I'm on a bass boat with just me and you for 4 to 8 hours, we're going to chat. We're going to chat a lot, you know, but by the end of that fishing trip, you're going to feel so much better. It's like therapy, you know? And that's what we want to try to bring to you guys with the end result. God willing, one day I can get a hold of some land. I would love to open a camp where anyone can come fish, canoe, kayak, hike, bike, mountain climb, hunt, all within the confines of the property that is working with all of the disabled programs. So we would have all the harnesses provided to us, all of the rigging, no matter what you want to go horseback riding, we got rigs for that. You want to go karting, we got rigs for that, or ATV, and we got rigs for that. I have a friend who is a Black Hawk helicopter pilot, lost his legs in combat, who now races professionally for Sea Jet Ski. Think about that. If you've ever been on a jet ski, if you've ever in your life been on a jet ski, your legs is what holds you on the jet ski. And this man has no use of his legs. And he's one of the best in the world. And that, like you just said, wow, that's exactly what the program is trying to build. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, I work with adults with disabilities. Ours is mental disabilities. But for you to actually do something like that is amazing. I mean, everybody needs to go check it out. But I saw this one video of you deer hunting. That was pretty dang awesome. What did you name that? A blind guy with a gun or something?
Blind guy's first deer hunt. And we actually named it Operation Deer Down, Mission Arkansas. The gentleman who took me is a military veteran. He's actually a YouTuber, tactical technician, if you guys want to check him out. Him and his family own 75 acres of private property with deer on it. And for me, hunting has been, this will be my 8th or 9th year that I have had a hunting license, not for sport. And I want to make that clear. I'm hunting to provide meat for my family, period. But for 8 years, living down in South Florida, the only thing you can hunt down there is iguanas, which I've done that and I've ate those, and tourists. And you can't hunt the tourists. They frown upon that. So moving up here again has enabled me to get where the hunting is, where the fishing is, where the outdoors are. Like South Florida, I don't know if you guys have ever been there. There's no more anything. It's all city. It's all urban. If you go somewhere, it's a park, like a little park. Like you can't find woods to go fish. Like the tournaments that I was in ran out of Weston, which is the Everglades, and Lake Okeechobee were the two areas that we competed. And that was 45-minute drive to the Everglades and then an hour and 40 to Roland Martin. So rather than just do all of that, I said, I'm going to uproot, I'm going to move, and I'm going to go to where life I want to do is. My kids fish. My kids are all outdoors. We just went camping this weekend. Following up on your last week's conversation of cold weather camping, we were in the 30s in regular Walmart tents with regular Walmart sleeping bags. No kidding. Okay. In 30-degree weather. Now we did on the second night break out the buddy heaters and put the buddy heaters in the tent. But the first night we were in like the 30s. It was cold. And for us being from South Florida, we're not used to that at all. But it worked out well. What I ended up doing was taking the hot hands and the hot adhesive pads, and I stuck them to the kids, and I shoved a few in the sleeping bag, and I put them in the sleeping bag, and everybody made it through the night.
Cool. So, very cool. Well, I know when I lived in Florida, I lived in Tampa area. So when he says 30 degrees, when he says 30 degrees in Florida, that is like 0 degrees here in Iowa. I just want you guys to know that. Yeah. That humidity down there chills you to the bone down there. So, I mean.
And that's something that people always think I'm nuts for, is that when it gets cold in Florida, it's different than what you guys experience around the world. Because we have, think about it, we're a peninsula surrounded by ocean and ocean with ocean breezes dictating the weather patterns and everything every day. So when it gets cold, like Thack just said, man, it goes right through you. I don't care if you have 5 layers of clothes. If the wind blows, it's going through your clothes and it's hitting your bone, and it's cold.
Yep.
But now for me, you were in Tampa. I'm actually 60 miles south of Valdosta, Georgia. So if you were to look at Tallahassee, if you look at Tallahassee and Jacksonville on the map, draw a line straight across, I'm dead smack in the middle.
Awesome.
So we actually get freezing. Yeah, we get freezing up here. We get freeze warnings, frost, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And it's our first year of it. We're loving every minute of it.
Can I ask you about your blindness? Now, was that gradual, or was it something that just you woke up and
I was born this way, believe it or not.
You were born that way. And
I was born with my disability. I was told as a child, as a baby, my parents were told he'll never be able to go to normal school. He'll never be able to do anything normal kids do. They did exploratory surgery on me to see what was actually the cause. This eye, I have a book list of stuff, but just to run it down for you, I have a severed optic nerve, a keyhole retina, cataracts, all kinds of stuff in this eye. This eye doesn't work at all. It has no optic nerve and is not connected to my brain. So that's kind of where it's at. To give you numbers, right now without any glasses, which I broke my glasses on the camping trip this weekend.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. But it really doesn't make that. That's what I'm going to tell you. It really doesn't make that much of a difference. Right now, uncorrected, I see 2,400. What this translates into English for everybody out there, what you can see at 400 feet away, I have to be 20 feet away to see the same object. Corrected with my lenses, I'm 2,100. So what you guys can see at 100 feet, I have to be 20 feet away. So there's a big difference between what you can see and what I can see. Plus, only having one eye, I have no depth. I see everything as 2 dimensions. There is no depth perception. So think about this when I tell you I fish, I drive a bass boat in tournaments, I go hunting, I shoot guns with my kids in the backyard. I've done a lot of stuff that society or doctors say you can't do or you shouldn't be able to do. And I've prided myself my entire life on pissing them off, pardon my language, but that's what happens when I do what you tell me I can't do. You see the look in their face, it's happiness, but it's anger of like, you know, you're not supposed to do that. You can't do that. Well, yes, I can. It's all up here, what you can and can't do.
All right. So before I turn it over to the side chat for questions, or Willie for questions, anybody for questions, I am going to go ahead and go through the side chat and name off our guests. We have Plain Old Chuck, Kaylin String, Chris O'Connie, Sean Brahms, Prep for It, Unpaved Explorer, Cornfed, welcome. Adventures and Bass Fishing with TK.
Hey, TK
Mad
Heaven.
Shad. Yeah, TK Heaven. And Mad Shad. Is that our... Oh, Big Al. Hello, Big Al. And hey, Big Al, thank you for your service, sir. All right. I know you can't read this, DJ, but Big Al said,
Yeah,
"You
no.
sir are." He says, "You sir are the real deal. Cool to know ya." So, folks, if you guys don't know Infantry Outdoors or Steve Brahms, I do have their links in the description box. Don't just go sub them. Please support them. All right, I'll let it out to questions for anybody on the side chat. And when there's a question, I'll read it out to you, DJ. If that's
Perfect,
what
perfect.
you
Yeah, my
okay.
wife, my producer. If you guys are in Friday live streams with us, we go live Friday every night at every Friday at 10 o'clock. Mostly because I have two kids I have to put to bed. Thank God they're being good tonight. So I pardon if they interrupt. But yeah, she's usually here. She's usually the one to read the chat and everything for me. So if you guys got comments, they'll read them out to me, and I'll be happy to answer them. And it could be about anything. I've got nothing to hide. If you
Plano
guys
Chuck
want to
says,
reference us, go ahead.
"Yep." Plano Chuck says that you're amazing. Michael Thompson says you are a complete inspiration. Um, Other people just said they're gonna come and check you out. TK Heaven
That's
wants to know, DJ, are you still working in radio?
I am not. I lost my job in 2019 after 16, almost 17 years. For those of you that don't know, before YouTube, I was a Miami radio and nightclub DJ for over 20 years. I've done radio, I've done
Wow.
TV, I've done voiceovers, I've done studio builds. Um, that's why you see the green screen behind me here. This is my little home studio. But I also have off to the right all of my broadcast equipment. Should if I need to link to a radio station or edit a commercial, I still do work down from the stations in Miami. So if they need a commercial done, they'll send it up to me. I'll voice it, put it together, put the music, all the sound effects, put it, and send it back down to them. So, but yeah, no, I haven't
That's
been in
great.
radio since 2019.
All right, our next question for you is, what do you like to fish for in Florida? That's from Big Al.
Big Al, I like to fish. Period. I fish saltwater. I fish freshwater. I fish brackish water. I've caught tarpon, snook, peacock, largemouth, snakeheads, clown knives, the red belly cichlids that you guys all see on TV. Basically, if it's in South Florida, I've caught it. Sharks. We've caught grunt, grouper, yellowtail. I just love to fish. It's just something about it to where the way it all started is because I was disabled. I wasn't able to, I mean, I was able to play sports with my friends, but when they went off to football practice or basketball practice or whatever that I wasn't able to do, that's where I went fishing. And I was in Boy Scouts, and I was in Boy Scouts all the way to the rank of Eagle. Um, so I found my passions in the outdoors. So for me to sit around and go, hey, there's a canal over here, let me go fish it. I ain't got nothing else to do. So I sit there for hours on end. And I remember watching and Hank Parker and Jimmy Houston and all them shows on Sundays. And yeah, man, I love fishing. It's just relaxing.
All right, so we
Particularly
got
tournament
two new
fish days
people.
when you got to do it for money.
Yeah. So we got two new people. They're your neighbors, actually. Kyle Luss from Georgia, and then of course Hike with Mike is from the Ocala area. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, Hike with Mike is not far from me. I do know Hike with Mike. I've been with him for a while. How you doing, Mike? Good to have you, brother. Appreciate you coming in. And being that we're close together now, life has kind of situated itself. So all of y'all that are in the North Florida, South Georgia area, and you want to get together and do things, reach out. I'm happy to. If anybody ever needs any help with anything, editing, camera gear, studio setup, let me know, because it's one of my specialties. I'm always happy to help. If I can't help you, if I can't directly help you, I'll make a video to help you. So
Fantastic. So Big Al says he was a jock way back in the day, small market only turntables. All right.
oh yeah,
Here is
oh yeah.
another question. It says, have you hog hunted? I hear there are some monster hogs in Florida. That's from Cornfed
I
Experience.
I have corn fed. If you check out my playlist. That was one of the hunts. Like I said, this has been an 8-year journey for me to hunt. Um, last last year, the year before, Swamp Stalker Outdoors, who's also here on YouTube, offered for me to come up to St. Cloud to go on a hog hunt, a squirrel hunt, maybe rabbit hunt, whatever we could really find to hunt. Um, which ended up being my first hunting trip. Period. We ended up blanking for the trip. We didn't see no hogs. I did, however, almost shoot a deer until I realized it was a deer. Um, but yeah, well, the grass in Florida is like seriously 6-7 feet tall, and we
Yeah.
were sitting at a 4-way choke point. We were in the bushes where 4 game trails met up into 1 game trail, which was the best scenario for what we were doing. So we were sitting in the bush, and you hear over here in the grass. Now, mind you, the grass is taller than what you can even see, and all you hear is so you get up, you put the rifle on the noise. That's what I was always taught. And I sit there and I follow the noise and I follow the noise. And Swamp Stalker's like, yawning. I'm like, I'm on it. And he's like, wait, it's a deer. Oh, man. Wrong species. Yeah.
So Cornfed said awesome for answering his question. And then TK Heaven said, DJ, when Mikey isn't on the road, you need to meet up with him. So I know
No, we
hike
are.
with Mike is. Oh, you guys are gonna meet up.
Yeah, well, no, what TK's talking about is Mikey Moser, Sawgrass Bassin.
Oh, Mikey Moser. Okay.
Yeah, Mikey Moser and I are very close friends from down in South Florida. He and his family moved up here like 4 years ago, and I kind of followed suit after, you know, knowing I needed to get out of there. But now that I'm up here, he's covering all of the biggest bass tournaments and doing social media for the anglers and his wife and everything else. So from now until like June, he's on tour. But once he gets done, we've already planned to get together. I mean, he's literally like 45 minutes from me.
Oh.
We're talking about hitting Rainbow River, Rodman Reservoir, and it'll be great to fish with my brother again. Last time we fished was actually at a tournament down south that I competed in, and the guy who inspired me and helped me get into YouTube, I beat him by 2 pounds. So it was one of those like awesome victories. Like, you kind of, I beat my idol, hot dog. So it was a lot of fun. But yeah, Captain Mikey and I are going to get together. If you guys know Ted Lincoln from Ted Lincoln's Life, he's also up here as well. Challenging the Outdoors. Ricky and Mikey are up here. There's so many YouTubers up here, and that's another part of why I moved up here, is because everything we want to do is up here. Down there where I live is cruise ships and tourists all day long, and there's no outdoors anymore. You go saltwater fishing, but the last time I went saltwater fishing, we found a headless goat at the boat ramp. And if any of y'all know anything about South Florida, headless goats usually mean a Santeria or witchcraft or voodoo hoodoo, and it's a common, like, it's just hard to explain down there. It's like gross to fish unless you know where to go. So
All right. So while there's a little bit of a lull in the conversation, I'm going to turn this over to Willie and talk about a camp you have coming up. Willie?
Coming up really quick.
Yeah,
March
isn't it?
26th, 27th, and 28th, we are going to hold the second annual Country Prepper Memorial Camp here in Southwest Iowa for our fellow fallen YouTuber Jeremiah, or Country Prepper, however you would like to remember him by. And everybody is more than welcome to come. And if you would like more information, feel free to send me an email at stevebrahms@gmail.com. It is in my About link on my channel if you can't spell it.
Or I just popped up the link.
Well, that works.
I'll tell you this, not for this year, because it's a little late, but for next year, if you want a DJ or announcer or anything like that, I'll be happy to volunteer my services to help out with the.
It would have to be battery operated, DJ. We usually do primitive. Oh no, we have power now.
We have power.
Hey, let me tell you something. We put a generator. We bring a generator and put some speakers in the trees, like I've done in Jamaica. And you go all day long. Yeah.
Willie, I don't
But
know
yeah,
if
I
you
mean,
saw
if
that,
anything I
but
can do to help with that.
absolutely. So Willie Cornfed said they really want to come.
I see that.
Okay. I didn't know
I
if
was
you
going
could
to
see
make
it
a
or not.
comment to them later, see if they had anything they needed to get rid of at their house, but
You can come into town Saturday. All right.
I,
So
hopefully,
Plano
maybe, I don't
Chuck.
know.
Yeah. Plano Chuck says he used to follow the Bassmaster Classic as a fan, not a fisherman, of course, traveled all over to attend. Now, Chuck is being very modest there. I know for a fact we were fishing like so many. It was me fishing, Brenda fishing, Craig fishing. No, no, no. We didn't catch anything. He had to catch us our supper. So he's just being very modest. So I know that fishing is huge for you. What do you have coming up? A trip or anything like that coming up?
Well, we were supposed to, for 2 years now, fly to Manitoba, Canada. With the whole situation of the world, we can't cross the border right now. But I'm supposed to go ice fishing. I have plans to go on a bear hunt. Um, this year, we're still trying to kind of find things up here. I want to find programs like there's a program called, let me think of the name of it, Hooked on Heroes, that works with veterans and takes them out fishing. Um, I'm just trying to find things to get into up here. And along the way, if I can manage to take a trip somewhere, because there's so much up here, like the Florida Caves and Itchnatuckney Springs is 5 minutes from my house. We're gonna have all kinds of stuff coming out. A lot more camping, hopefully some hiking. My youngest is now 4, coming up into 5, so he's old enough to put a little backpack and walk for a little while. So we got a lot of stuff coming.
Well, you just brought up ice fishing. So if you ever want to ice fish in February, you have an open invite to come see us. Now,
I
we
would be love.
sometimes
I would love to.
we
I
fish
would love
at
to.
Willie's Pond sometimes. But there's tons of ice fishing up here. Usually February, huh, Willie?
The local bar here in town just sponsored an ice fishing tournament last weekend. They had
Yeah.
41 people signed up for it for their first one.
That's
Who won
awesome.
the gun? Who won the gun?
I don't
I
know who it was, but they brought a fairly decent sized catfish in. There was 3 of
Oh,
and
all right.
that's that's
Okay.
how those tournaments are won too, man. Those catfish, even with the
Yeah.
kids tournaments down south, some of the best fish were catfish that were pulled in.
All right. So corn.
The kid that won, or the guy that won the most, or there was a 15 fish weigh-in. The
Right.
one that won the tournament had mostly bass and crappie.
Do you know about how much that weigh in came? It's 15 fishes.
I don't know for sure.
All
I can
right.
find out fairly easy, but I didn't see what they were weighing. So, but
Ah.
they had buckets pretty dang full. They also had a small fish contest. It was a little bluegill that was 0.02 pounds.
Oh wow!
It was just a little bitty tiny thing. It was barely bigger than the minnows. It was
All
That's
hilarious
awesome.
to see everybody bringing in these little bitty itty tiny fish. It was hilarious.
That's
That's
awesome. I mean, most people would have brought in their minnows if they could, probably. But hey, Corn-Fed Experience is leaving, so good night. But we do have one more question for you, Infantry.
Sure.
DJ. It says, this is from Kaylin Strain. Have you ever played any fishing video games?
Yeah, we have for the Wii. I believe it's the Rapala game. That's the only one. See, I'm not really big into video games. I really wasn't as a kid. Mostly because you guys' vision and my vision, and you have a radar and too many things to look at. It just got too complicated. Now, if you want to break out an old Nintendo, or I've got an old Atari, we can play Pac-Man. We can play Mario Brothers, like the old Mario Brothers. I'm good, but this Call of Duty stuff and things that these kids play, I can't even pay attention to the screen. There's so much going on. But fishing games, Rapala, and the Rapala one, I can honestly tell you, if you play that game, I think you can get it at Bass Pro Shops. The lures, you will actually learn how to fish from that game. It tells you the depths. It tells you what the lure is. It tells you how to work the lure, how to use the lure, how to retrieve the lure. It may be a video game, but if you apply that same technique, a jerk bait is jerked. Texas rig is lifted slowly or popped. Different techniques require different solutions. So we put it together, and that's actually a really accurate, good game. So if you guys want to learn how to fish in a video game world.
Awesome. Awesome. So TK Heaven says plenty of ice fishing here as well, but tomorrow I'm wading a creek instead because everything's melting probably. Kaylin says catching bait just like my younger brother used to. And just in time prepping, welcome. He is going to be a guest in our show maybe next week or the week after. Isn't that right? Well, anyways, Will, you got any questions for DJ?
Not really. I'm horrible.
I know you are.
And it's funny because I'm usually, for all the years, the one on you guys' side of the table, asking the questions, doing the interviews. So when I'm on this side of the table, it's always like, I kind of just sit back and go, so this is what it felt like for them all these years. They just sit here and, it's harder to come up. See, what people don't get when you put on a show or a broadcast of any kind, and you want to do a serious, like we're doing here, this is interviewing. You kind of don't want to fumble through it. You want to have good questions and good content and things like that. And that puts these guys in the position where they got to come up with a good question. And you guys too in the chat, you got to come up with good questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. But it's so nice to be on this side for once. I tell you what.
So TK Heaven says going to be his first attempt at wading the creek. No clue if there are any fish in there. So TK, where are you at, TK? What state are you
fly fishing, or what type of fishing are you doing? Are you fly fishing? If you're wading, I would imagine so. But you could also wade with bait cast or spin cast. You could do anything you want. It's fishing.
And Square Table Degenerates podcast is on. They do a lot of live streaming too. But do you fly fish infantry? I'm
learning. I have a fly rod. I have fly fished. I have a video of the fly rod I got sent. I haven't caught anything on one yet, but it is a challenge. It is different. If you got those that have never fly fished and you see it on TV and you think it's just like whipping a bullwhip. No. You whip it like a bullwhip. You hit the tree, you hit the kid, you hit the back of your head. Yeah, I got all kinds of stories of learning to fly fish.
Oh yeah, I was learning it. My first time taking it out, I'm whipping it back and forth, and then I look over and I'm like, oh, what happened to my hook? My fly is missing. So I hit the hill behind me and it took my fly and I didn't even know it. But anyways, then I'm hanging out with Brenda and I'm just slowly retrieving and I caught this little bluegill the size of half of my hand.
Yeah, they'll catch fish because you got to think about it. In the fish world, we always teach, or we always taught, match the hatch in fishing. And what that translates to is you pay attention to what the fish are eating at the current time you're fishing. If they're hitting bugs on the surface of the water and you can mimic a bug via a fly, you're going to catch fish. If you see them chasing bait and you see them, swirls and stuff because they're chasing bait balls, then you're going to want to throw something like a fluke or a jerk bait to mimic, or even a rattle trap or crankbait to mimic a bait fish. So fly fishing is a great way to catch fish. I'm hoping, I got to find out if up here where I'm at we have trout, because I would never caught a trout. I would love to catch a trout. We got rivers and stuff up here, so I just got to go feel it out.
Awesome. So TK says that he's in northern Illinois and he's using a spinning rod and small baits. He says he will eventually learn how to fly fish, But Square Table says, infantry, if this was already mentioned, forgive me. But thank you for your service if you were in the service. Were you in
I
the
was
service?
not, sir. No,
No.
no, no. I was not. I was not.
Nope.
And I know that's like the name infantry is like that's the first thing everybody thinks, and that's why you don't see military themed anything on my channel really. The name DJ Infantry, if anybody is familiar with, I'm 41 years old, like my age music, if you know the name DJ Laz or Lazaro Mendez, he was the guy who gave me my DJ name 20 years ago. And the reason we came up with DJ Infantry is I was always the first one in the club, the last one to leave, and I whooped anybody's butt with them turntables. So
Awesome.
infantry would just kind of fit. So he's like, yeah, man, you're the first one in, the last one out.
Very cool. And then Prep Forest said, yes, match the hatch is a good thing to remember. And then Chuck was telling us, my buddy fell through the ice on Sunday. Luckily, he was just walking out and it was shallow.
Wow. Did he have
Willie has
them things around the neck? What are them things called? I see them things are neat.
Wait.
That you put around the neck.
Huh?
When you're on the ice, they have a thing you put around your neck, and if you fall in, you take it off your neck, and you can climb your way out with it.
The ice
picks. I don't know. Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
Willie has this dangerous. I know Willie has this really dangerous way of checking ice. He doesn't go. You don't even do that. You jumped on the ice that one day.
Yeah, but it was 2 inches of water.
But still,
it was right there at the shore where it was really shallow. I do know as of Saturday there was 14 inches of ice on the local ponds, at least.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
So you drive
we
a
have
like pretty easy.
Yeah, we have an inch of slush right now because of yesterday and today.
We've gotten,
but there's still probably 12 inches of ice.
We've gotten like 4 frost freeze warnings, and we thought that was bad. Yep.
Oh,
y'all definitely, definitely. See, I'm a person though. I love the cold and I love the snow. I used to travel to Gatlinburg every year to go snowboarding. Believe it or not, the blind guy knows how to throw himself down a mountain on a stick and make it all the way down. Yeah, man, I'm telling you. What we didn't tell my instructor, like we don't like to tell people that I have a disability, because if I do, usually you won't let me do that activity. So we always keep that a secret. And my instructor, after 2 days of skiing and shredding and having a good time, my buddy's like, hey, so you know he's blind, right? And the guy looked at me like, no, you're lying. And like, no, he can't drive a car. He only has one eye. And they're like, holy crap, man, that's amazing. He's like, why didn't you say it to begin with? Well, because most people say you can't do it. So yeah, we got away with all kinds of stuff doing that.
Yeah. We have old man in the house. And the reason why Square Table, hi old man. Sorry, I didn't want to forget to say hi to you. But Square Table said I had DJ Assault on my show, if you remember that guy from Detroit back in the day. That was the best era for club music. Maybe it's just because we were young. He's 44.
Yeah, I remember DJ.
Do you know a DJ?
Yeah, I know that name. Yeah. See, my favorite era as a DJ, there were 2 of them. One was 80s freestyle, and the other one was Miami booty music. The 2 of them basically went hand in hand. I mean, I love all genres of music. I love reggae, calypso, soca, Spanish music, reggaeton, bachata. All of it is great, but I have my, everybody's got their favorites. As a DJ, hands down, 80s freestyle and booty music, to mix those and just play those for hours on end was amazing. And one of the stations I worked for was a dance station where I got to meet Paul Oakenfold, Ian Van Dyke, a lot of the 80s freestyle artists whenever they came into the studios. I've even met, everybody here has done the electric slide in their life, right? Weddings and stuff like that. Well, the lady that created it, Marcia Griffiths, I've met her. My kids have been on stage with her in front of thousands of people doing the electric slide. We've had a lot of fun over the years, and now we're moving it to YouTube.
That's great. So,
Yep.
how did I know that the reason why you got started, but how did you get started with all these things that you're doing? Like, how did you get there's procedures, right, on how the steps and everything. Do you just knock on doors, or well, I guess nowadays you send out emails to
As
get
far as what you
sponsored,
mean. Oh, to get sponsors.
or
Okay, yeah. Basically, again, I've been in radio and TV in the Miami market, which is the third largest market in the entire country. So for years on the radio, I've had to chase down sponsors and chase down advertisers, and I've had to basically, if for anybody watching that wants to seriously business your YouTube channel, you have to look at it as if you want people to come advertise, then you have to make your product towards advertisers. What do advertisers want? What do they look for? And make really good content. Once you have that, then you can approach. What I always tell people is, what do you do in your local life that can bring revenue to your broadcast? You have a barber, you have an ice cream shop, a pizza place. You have places that you already go to every day and people you already know. So say, hey, listen, I have a very successful YouTube channel. It's growing. We're always looking for sponsors to help out the program. It doesn't have to be a lot, but you are on a worldwide network that is your videos will be up there because I don't take my videos down. So you're getting forever advertising just by helping us continue to create. And that's all it is by already going to what you know. Then once you have a few of those, maybe you get $5 a month from this person, $5 a month from that. But let me tell you, $5 adds up. $5 is lunch on a shoot one day, or $5 is a thing of worms, a couple things of worms to go fish. But if you get enough of those $5, you pay for the day. But excuse me, don't be afraid to approach people. Once you get one sponsor, the others will follow. If you have a friend that is doing clothing, for example, have them give you clothing. Say, listen, I'll bring you on as a sponsor. Just throw me a few shirts every now and again. I've got people that do that. My water purification company that works with me, they take care of all my water purification needs. If I need filters, if I need any of that stuff, and I've known the guy for years. So if you guys are on a well, or if you're a survivalist and you want a portable filter, they've got all that stuff. So it's a good fit for what I do. Then the other company, Silver Connections Group, is a social media management company. They built my website. They boosted my Google rankings. So if you put in Infantry Outdoors, I'm at the top of Google, not at the bottom. She's helped me with my thumbnails. Hey, you got to get more creative on your thumbnails. You got to use certain keywords. I had to learn what keywords were and why we use hashtags and why we do this. And all of this is just so this thing called YouTube will put my videos somewhere to hopefully be viewed. So that's where my sponsors have come in. Or they're bait companies that want to get a new bait out. Hey, listen, send me some baits. I'll advertise for you. Because in our business, everything has a value. Not money, everything. This wall behind me has a value. If I put up AOK Foraging and Adventures, that's free advertising. If I wear a shirt that says Rapala, that's advertising. Everything in front of the camera has a value. Your time, this broadcast right here, your electricity through the house, it all has a value. So go to a company and say, hey, look, give me a product. I'll do a product review for you. One hand washes the other. It gets you in front of an audience. So that's how I did it. Just don't be afraid to say, hey, worst thing they could say is no, not right now. The big thing you will find, I will be 100% honest with you guys, is if you are under 1,000 subscribers, most businesses won't look at you. Once you get over 1,000, you'll start to get people to reply to you. So if you're under 1,000, unless you're doing like banger content, bigger companies and businesses aren't going to look at you just based on numbers, because again, you have to provide your end of the deal if I give you my end of the deal. So if the two don't equal out, somebody's going to get more or less. So just keep that in mind.
Awesome. So what do you think has been your best adventure so far?
Best adventure so far. Probably when I went indoor skydiving. That was just the ability to fly is just something has been a dream of mine. Like my favorite superhero is Superman. I've always wanted to fly, especially being told my vision is one line short of getting a driver's license. So yeah, it's been one of those like, well, I can fly a plane. I can captain a boat. I have a captain's license. I can carry a concealed firearm. I can teach firearms classes, but I can't drive a car to get to any of those places. Isn't that amazing? But flying, maybe one day.
That just blew my mind.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, and I'm real with you. I can fly a plane because now with an airplane, you can fly solely on the instrument panels. So as long as I can sit here and read my instruments, I can fly the plane.
Wow.
Makes sense. Boat basically is the same thing. When you're out on the water, there's not really much you're going to hit unless you intentionally hit something, you know. And now unless you're bass fishing, now that's a whole different ball game. Because if you're trying to get into places you're not going to come out of.
Yeah, there are some waterways down there that you could be lost for, well, forever.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my agreement with my wife was the minute I said I was going to tournament fish, she goes, not until you have a GPS unit on that boat. Because when you're out there, especially in the Everglades, there's no road signs and everything looks the same. So if you make a left, it looks like you made a right or you went straight. Did you follow the bend or did you go past the bend? And if you don't make the right decision, you end up way down in South Miami or you end up way out in swampland, but you don't end up back at your boat ramp.
That is true. So are you thinking about gator hunting?
I would like to. I really would. My buddy Swamp Stalker and I, we had it all set out before the whole world situation. And then on top of that, he's now moved to the Carolinas. So I got to find my whole problem hunting is my license, because I'm handicapped, requires someone to go with me. I have to find somebody to go with me. So once I have that person, hands down, I love alligator. I've eaten alligator several times. I know how to make the ribs taste better than baby back ribs, the tail meat, the knuckles, all of that stuff. Gator is if you haven't had it, it is awesome. Gotta try.
I actually got my first gator back in 93.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got my first gator when I was 12. It came out of my uncle's pond. My uncle has a property in Naples, in Immokalee. And the gator came out the pond, went after the dog. We all jumped the gator and beat it to death with a crowbar. And then ate it.
Yeah. Mine actually cost me $300 for the license.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you want to hear something crazy? I'm going to blow your mind, okay? It is for a Florida resident to get your 2 gators. You get 2 tags. Excuse me. It is $275. For me, a Florida handicap resident, for the same 2 tags, it's $27.50.
All right, Willie. You know who to hit up.
I know who I'm going with.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And here's what I tell everybody. If any of y'all take me on a hunt of any kind, whatever we get, we're splitting right down the middle. Because you're there, whether I pull the trigger or not, you're going to get half the meat because you're there. And my family don't need an entire animal's worth of meat. That's kind of greedy. So I've always told everybody, yeah, you better be ready for half the animal, because just by you being there, you're going home full and a freezer full if we can manage it.
Awesome. So my buddy Bill Butner is here. He's actually subscribed to you, I believe. He says he can relate on the driver's license thing. No night driving, maximum 35 miles per hour for him.
At least you got that.
Bill's is it called degenerative, right, Willie?
Macular regeneration.
Yeah, where
I
it
know
just
his eyes weren't good enough when he tried to join the military, but I don't remember why he said his eyes weren't good.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't let me join the military. I tried Coast Guard, Marine Corps, because my dad was in the Army. My cousin went into the Marine Corps. Currently now, my father-in-law was Navy. He was on the Iowa when the turret exploded. Um, my wife's brother's in the military. He's in the Air Force. So for me, I mean, I've got a lot of military in there. It just wasn't possible. I tried as much as I could. I was like, look, all you gotta do is point me in a direction, give me the gun, and tell me to go. That's all you got to do. We can't do that. Put me in a tank, then I'll be fine. You know, I can drive over everything, no problem.
Awesome. So, let's see. Kaylin says she's only had a turtle once. That was back in 1985. Her dad caught it out of lake. Oh my God. I don't know how to say that word. Wachita in Arkansas. And then Kaylin says macular degeneration.
Yep.
So
I'm familiar with that. I don't have that. That's one thing I don't have. But that's not good. That means
but
over time his sight is going.
awesome. So Manland 121, welcome Marty. How are you? So before we keep going, I want everybody to know that next week on the 2nd, it will just be me and Willie, and it's gonna be Free Talk Tuesday. So we won't have a topic, okay? But on the 9th, I want you guys to come and meet Will from Just in Time Prepper and Uncle Al from Die Bullfrog 89. That is on the 9th. Mark your calendars for that. So infantry, we already talked about things that you were hoping to have come up. Do you know of anything that you really do have coming up?
We've got right now. I got about 6 or 7 videos in the can. I got to just get them edited and up there. I've got some aluminum can melting using a forge, taking aluminum cans and turning into aluminum ingots. What else do we have? I've got some BB gun reviews. I've got a rifle scope that I ordered that is going to blow you guys' mind because I mean, I ain't missing a deer this year. I promise you that. It's basically it mounts onto any existing scope and it takes that and puts it on a 5-inch TV screen. So for me, it'll make instead of trying, if you guys have ever looked through a rifle scope, if you don't look perfectly through it, you can't see through it. If you're a person where your eye does one of these like mine does, you really have to focus hard. Like I practiced for 2 weeks before the hunt to get my eye to stay looking through the scope. This will make it to where it's as big as this, telephone in front of me, and my spotter next to me can then go up, go left, 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 fire it, send it, and he can in real time see what I'm seeing. So it will hopefully this year seal the deal for us.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Technology nowadays just blows my mind. It does. And oh, I am sorry, it is not Die Bullfrog 89. It is Die Bullfrog 79. Thanks for correcting me, Kaylin. I appreciate that. All right. So we have about 6.5 minutes left. Willie, let's talk about the camp one more time.
March 26th, 27th, and 28th, we're going to have the Country Prepper Memorial Camp here in Southwest Iowa. If you would like more information about it, feel free to send me an email at stevebrahms@gmail.com.
All right. Thank you, Willie. And Kay, we're going to finish off with DJ. Tell us a little bit because now it looks like we have a whole different set of audience. Tell us about your live stream, what time it is on Friday and stuff like that.
We go live Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Time, whenever happen we fall on 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We run until basically the comments run out. So some nights it could be an hour 20, some nights it could be 3 hours. It all depends on you guys. Every week, just like Thack here, I try to theme it to make it a theme of the week. But a lot of times we don't end up staying on that topic. A lot of times we end up, again, it all depends on you guys. If we theme it for fishing and you come in and go, dude, I just went camping and this happened and happened, that's what we're going to talk about. So Fridays at 10. Usually my usual upload is going to be on Wednesdays. I'm going to start getting back into that. I'm trying to do some things here in the studio and improve Friday night's live stream. This way we can, like I said to you guys, try to appeal to more sponsors, try to, get more folks involved, get a bigger community together, so that when things come up like his festival, I can say here at the live stream, yeah, I got my tickets and I'm on the way, because I want to support, and I want a good community. And the community that we have built here on YouTube, which all of you, thumbs up, man. Everybody in the chat, you guys are all awesome. And that's what I've really enjoyed about this whole YouTube ride is not the videos I've made, not what I've done, but the amazing people that I've met and got to work with.
I totally agree with you on that. I've traveled the U.S. so far and have met so many awesome people. But let me break that down for some people that don't realize, because I know we have some Californians and stuff. So that Infantry Outdoors will be live Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Did you guys get that? I got this down.
Yeah, I gotta give you a lot of credit. As a broadcaster for many years, I've done what I've done. I enjoy coming into your shows. I like that you ask questions, that you ask knowledgeable questions. You don't just ask, infantry, what's your favorite color? What's your ice cream? None of that. You ask relative stuff. And as broadcaster to broadcaster, keep it up. You got a great live stream going. For those watching, if you're new to the stream, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, put it all notifications, hit the subscribe so it's gray, not red. If it's red, you're dead. Hit their button, make it gray. And just support, because that's what it's all about. I'm very thankful for this opportunity to be here with you guys. And if you come here to North Florida, you guys know you got a place to stay anytime you want. We'll go to the Springs. We'll go to the Swanee River. There's all kinds of stuff to do in North Florida.
Oh, man, I love the springs up there. The water stays, what is it?
Summer, 70? Though. It's 70 degrees all year round. That might not sound cold, but it is cold, okay? 70 water temp, you get out and it's cold outside. No. In the summertime, yeah, we'll barbecue. We'll have a good time.
Willie, we'll go down there end of December. Woo! Beginning of January.
Yeah, hey, don't forget it was then in the 30s and 20s, so you go ahead with that. Yeah.
It was minus 30 here.
Well, that's cold.
Cold. Minus 30.
It was like 80 degrees difference today.
And now back where I'm from, it's 87, 92 degrees all day, every day.
Yeah.
So I'll take the cool. I'll actually enjoy this better than down there, because I make a running joke that, when you're cold, you can put another layer on, wrap a blanket, snuggle with somebody, and warm up. In South Florida, when it's 103 in the shade, you're butt naked sitting in front of the air conditioner. There ain't much more you're doing when the sweat's still pouring. You're stuck.
Well, I never go sitting anywhere butt naked because I don't want to get arrested. But I do.
No, but that's how hot it is down there. I know.
I used to.
We took him fishing.
I lived there.
And the water temp on the day I took him bass fishing in the Everglades, the water temp was 91.3 degrees. Yeah. So even if you go swimming, you're not getting cooled off. It's hot water that you're swimming in.
Hey, folks, we are rounding out the hour. I want to thank my co-host, Willie. As always, Dude, you need to come up with some questions though. Sometimes.
No,
Sorry.
you know, Willie's good, man. He's there for like the
He's
question
like
you
that
don't think
egg.
about.
That egg. What is his name? Ed. You know, with Johnny Carson. Remember?
Ed McMahon.
Ed
Yeah, you're
McMahon.
you're Ed McMahon, and I'm Johnny
Yep.
Carson.
That works.
There you go. It's the
I'm
But
an
Tonight
folks,
answer guy,
Show.
not a question guy.
you are right. Yes. Anytime I have questions about anything, I'll go, Willie, Willie. Yep. But hey, DJ from Infantry Outdoors, guys. If you guys have not checked out my description box and clicked onto their links and supported them, please do so. I wouldn't have a show without my guests or my co-hosts because listening to me talk for an hour is just not a cool thing. Um, DJ, thank you so much. If
You're welcome.
you know, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have you back. I really hope
Anytime. And
you
you
will
say
come
the word,
back.
be here. I'm available anytime. And if you ever want to come up on a Friday, you let me know. This Friday, I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about cold weather camping, being that we just did it, and our experiences and things like that. So if you want to come up and add to what our experiences were and maybe tell us what you guys do to make it a little different, we love to have you. And of course, if you guys ever want to come down, collab, or anything like that, reach out to us. Check out our website, infantryoutdoors.com. That is a one-stop shop for everything from where we are, what we're doing, merchandise,
Tons
broadcast,
of
photo
merchandise.
galleries. It's all, yeah, it's all, well, this. So we got T-shirts and stuff. That's about as far as we made it. But we're working on it, you know.
Yep.
And everything, like I always say, all the support goes right back into the show. My family does not use it in any way. It goes, as you guys know, camera gear, gas, you know, it takes money to make YouTube, and we put everything right back to it and try to improve every step that we can do. So, yeah.
All right. So before I say goodnight, I want to say hello and good night to SD Mountain Man and my brother Trey Azell. Um, guys, thank you so much again for coming on. I will see everybody next week along with Willie. Thank you, side chat members. All right.